Good morning, good folks. Okay, so we're back out here on this land that we bought, and we're back with the electric company. They're going to move. We're going to get rid of this thing right here because it's 200 amp, which is too beefy for the RV. So, Mr. Viking is showing them again where we want the power stanchion put so that we can plug in right here. And if you see that pile of dirt over there, that's where we've been digging to try to repair our sewer line. There was a mobile home here before, and apparently, I guess when they moved the home out, they snapped the clean out over there. So we have to go down into the ground and just change the, I call it a J joint, or whatever that thing is, that smokestack thing. And so that we have a workable sewer line for the RV, because we're supposed to be bringing it here in a few days. We're 3 days into trying to get this or 3 weeks, or anyway, several days trying to get this taken care of. So hopefully we can get this taken care of today and get our RV moved onto the property in the next few days. So they're digging a trench here. They have to trench it so that they could rerun the power line for us. This is not a cheap job, let me assure you that.
So here is the gentleman using the mighty ditch witch. This machine's actually made in Oklahoma and shipped around the world. Here's your intrepid correspondent, the Viking, using the hose down at the bottom end of the property. And here's the trench which the ditch witch produces. It's 18 inches deep, which is, I understand, code for Oklahoma to bury your power lines. And you can see in this picture, I've been doing my playing in the mud, digging around where the sewer pipe is. We have to make a few modifications to attach it to the rear of the coach. So I was watering the area and digging down in that good dark mud. Here's another picture of them as they're getting ready to install the power connections. And here's me wandering down there looking kind of lost. So we're going to carry on. He's just done with the ditch witch. Now he's going to pull it out of the ground, the trencher out of the ground. And here I am playing with the hose to make more mud. So here's another picture of their vehicles as they're getting ready to install the power connections. And he had to, here he is, one of them is connecting the conduit together with glue, whereas the other fellow is putting conduit down into the trench to run the wires through. Here he is installing a secondary box on the original power pole. It was originally 200 amps, which is far too much. Here's the other young fellow putting some more conduit into the hole and gluing it together so that they can run the wire through it. Now here's Eric running a wire down from the secondary box, while his helper's at the other end of the trench, still gluing that conduit together and getting ready to attach it to a pole. Here he is looking a little bit lost, but working on the 200 amp service to switch it over to the 70 amp service. And here are a couple of city workers coming to waste time with the contractors. Here he is running the ditch witch back up on the trailer and chaining it down, getting ready to leave. And it's quite a heavy machine, so it requires chaining onto the trailer, so it doesn't take off when you do. Here is the new breaker, a 70 amp breaker that sits at the original power pole. And as you can see, the conduit runs, there's a flexible conduit that runs to the conduit which goes underground. Here's the brand new 50 amp plug where we'll be plugging the coach in. We went with 50 in case we have to upgrade. And it has its little hat to keep out the wind and the rain, which was our intention. Here is a second outlet, a ground fault outlet, which also has a little hat to cover that over to keep out, yeah, you guessed it, the wind and the rain. That's for running weed whackers and other types of small power equipment. There are two breakers in this box, one 50 amp, one 20 amp for each side of the service. And so that completes the work that we had done.
Okay, so the electricians just finished, and I don't know exactly what they did, but anyway, there's our thingy where we're going to plug in our rig.
Yep.
Over there. So they ran the power from there. They dug a trench. They are leaving. Bye, y'all. And they ran the wire under the ground to where you see that trench, and then they put it right there. So now we have to call the electric company and have them come put a meter on and turn on the power, and then we're finished with that. So the last thing to do is to put a box, some kind of box right here, and get rid of these ground wasps. That's our water right there. And over here is our sewer. So we got to finish with the piping over there, and then we'll be ready to move in. So there you go. Thanks for going with us during this reconstruction and all that stuff. And here is our meter all hooked up and ready to go.